Hey guys and girls, it's Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We're having a lot going on in the shop lately. We sold the Epiphone and it found a new home with a young man that's going to make music with it, and which is what we were hoping. So the owner of that guitar is happy, and the new owner is very happy. So that's one less guitar I have hanging around. It's kind of sad to see it go. It was a beautiful instrument, and I had a lot of fun working and showing you guys, all the work that we did on it. Today we are going to do an unboxing, something I've never done, an unboxing on a cheapy entry-level starter kit guitar. It was a cheap Amazon, don't even remember the name brand of it, it doesn't matter. I was in the market for a small bench top guitar amplifier, and I realized that for $80 to buy a little amp, I could buy a kit, a starter kit, and get a whole bunch of goodies, including a guitar that we're going to make play. And you know my mantra, every instrument deserves to play as well as it can possibly play. So I'm going to get my free amp. Hopefully we're going to test all this stuff out. But there's a whole bunch of little box goodies that come with it. So let's get to work. Alright, the camera lottery. Let me get my monitor spun around here. Okay, so some of you may have noticed too that I got a haircut. I cut 17 inches of ponytail off. I haven't had a haircut for 4 years, and damn, it was due. Okay, so unboxing, everything's in the video. So they send you a gig bag. This will probably end up being a kitchen garbage bag because it won't protect the guitar a whole lot other than being able to carry it around. Not at all surprising. By the way, the only thing I'm going to tell you about what I remember about this kit, it was $109. Everything that comes in it is a guitar carrying case, which we just saw, actual guitar strap, extra strings because it has a set on it and it feels like they're loose and detuned, that's good, a tremolo bar because this is a Stratocaster type shaped instrument, so we're going to be able to set up the trem on it, one 10-watt amplifier. I'll have to check that because I believe it was supposed to be a 15-watt, but beggars can't be choosers. A guitar cable, we know that'll probably be cheap. Guitar pick, I get a guitar pick, and 2 Allen wrenches. The neat thing is they send you a little digital tuner. Can always use another little digital tuner. I'm constantly taking one or the other out of my studio and bringing it to the bench and blah, 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 blah. So let's proceed. All right, here is our guitar cord, tremolo bar with a white end, and 2, it looks like 2, one for truss rod and one for saddle adjustment. I have literally a million of those. The tuner, let's check that out. It is the brand name is Clip-On Tuner, and it takes a 2032 battery. That's good, so I don't have to go find some weird off-brand or off-size weird little tuner battery. Is it already in there? Probably not. I'm sure they probably didn't even send the battery with it, which they did not. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. They did send the battery with it. Ain't that bizarre? I am going to assume it goes in like that based on my other tuners. I don't know how accurate these things are, and frankly, as long as you're within a half a cent or so, and the thing fired right up, gee, oh, don't tell me you have to pick which string you're doing. We'll investigate that further. Does it shut off? Yes, it does. Okay, tuner. And that's a added bonus, even if I have to switch them manually. I don't think so, but I'm going to assume we can set it to. I'm not going to read the instructions yet. I'm assuming that it will automatically pick up the pitch. It also came with a capo. Another little item that I'm always looking for, another one. I don't know how good it is. I'm not going to test it now. Nondescript set of strings. We will measure them and find out. My guess is they're probably going to be 9s or even lower. 10s are the standard, but we'll measure those at some point. And a guitar strap. Now remember, this is a starter kit. This is what you would give your 9 or 10-year-old or younger even under the Christmas tree, under the Hanukkah tree, under insert holiday of your choosing. This is a starter kit. Somebody in your family, a young girl or a young guy, wants to learn how to play guitar. So this stuff's pretty cheap, but you know what? You're not going to go out and spend $3,000 on your 9-year-old or your 8-year-old's wish to play a guitar. Enough said about that. Okay, so all the goodies. Capo, extra strings, digital tuner, trem, the tools. I don't see where they gave me any picks. They said they were going to send me picks. Are my picks not here? Yeah, I got ripped off. I got ripped off for a pick, 3 pieces. Unless they're in there. Oh no, they're in the bag. Sorry. Never mind. Alright, the big reveal on the Stratocaster shaped object. Is this in a bag? Yes, it is. Let's see if I can get this out of here and keep it in the camera range, or in the movie, as I like to say. And don't really want to go too far with it, because I'd like to be able to put it back in there if it's a real piece of crap, because I'll just return it right back to them. Love doing business with Amazon. Of course, everything's going to grab the plastic. Is this even a full size? Wow. Already I can see some nastiness going on here with the neck. The frets feel like they're razor edge sharp. There's no finish on the neck headstock. There's no finish in where the truss rod adjustment is. It's got your typical condom on there. These don't look like they're exactly like they would be for a Stratocaster shaped object. 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll check all that out. Is this a? Oh wow, this thing is. I think it's made out of cardboard. It's really small, and .22 frets. Full size, sort of. Standard Fender type tremolo system on it. Super, super light. I'm going to say this is probably basswood. I don't know what kind of composite the neck and the fretboard is. The frets are shiny, but damn are they sharp. They did absolutely no fret finishing on it at all. Big paint chip right there. I smell a return. Let's just sight down it. At least they had the good sense to make it straight and put the strings loose. I'm sure it'll play and make noise. It will probably end up being a good guitar that I can give to someone in my family, because I won't use this guitar, but it's a great beginner, I'll bet. And we're going to go the whole 9 yards and do a setup on it and check everything, and I may even knock these strings right off and get to putting some oil on the whatever board this is. I'm gonna hope it's wood. Got some goony goo goo going there. Oh yeah, a big piece of chunk of something on the plastic the plastic nut. Wouldn't expect, for $109 you're getting a guitar, all the goodies, and the best part, which is what I really was after, is a little amplifier for my bench, because I need to have a better amp than, excuse me for 1 second. I need to have a little bit better amp. I have actually, as I've said a million times, I'm a bass player by trade, and I have a excuse me, I have a Fender Bassman down there. It's overkill and too much for my purposes here, and truth be known, the microphone on my camera, it has noise cancellation, and anything in that low range, because it's down under the bench, it cancels it out, so you never hear it. Even when I play guitar through it, you can barely hear it. So I'm going to remove this. Put that over there. My phone is vibrating like, well, a vibrator, and I don't care who it is, because I've been waiting for a week to open this up and see what kind of little gizmo they sent me for an amplifier. And again, I just need a benchtop amplifier. I'm not going to go play Madison Square Garden with this thing. It is just to put up on a shelf above my monitor, so that when I'm working on guitars, and even basses for that matter, it's up here where at least I think the microphone on the camera will pick it up. Don't expect a whole lot here. Very small, very compact, which I kind of like that, because, as I said, I'm going to put it on a shelf above my monitor here. Directions, GA15, which means that it is supposed to be a 15 amp, but it said that's a GA15, nondescript, nothing fancy. It's got a drive, input, volume, treble, bass, headphones. Don't expect it to be anything special. It doesn't, you can't even unplug the cord, so I'm probably going to end up fastening that better on the back of this so it doesn't get pulled. It's got a little thing so you can tilt it back. That's pretty cool. I'm going to pause real quick while I try to place it and get us a little guitar to play through it. Oh joy. Stand by. Okay, we're back. I'm sorry. I have our Partscaster Tele solo project here. I'm just testing audio here. I know I'm a little out of the camera. Sounds pretty good. So that's the test on that. I'm going to pause again really quickly. We're going to put the other cheap guitar back up here on the bench and start taking some measurements just for fun. Hold on. So we're back here with the Stratocaster shaped object. You can see it's a cheapy guitar. Even the wood is really unfinished, and it's just not really. The strings are corroded already. It's not even strung up properly. So I didn't expect the guitar to be anything special. Some guys have done these type of exercises where they buy a cheap guitar off of eBay or whatever, and they're after the guitar. They want to see, well, what do I get for $140 or $89? Or I bought the cheapest guitar on Amazon. Well, that's not what this exercise was really about, but I'm going to play around with it just for giggles. I'm going to tune it up. I'm going to take a bunch of measurements because we can. I mean, it's detuned and the neck looked really straight, so I'm imagining that this is going to be so far out of whack that an octopus wouldn't be able to play it. Let's see if we can just get it tuned up to pitch first. And I don't even know if I would waste a good set of strings on this guitar. I can tell you the tuners feel like nuts and bolts on my 68 Chevelle. B as in boy, come on baby. Ooh, that's terrible. Oh, I hear something creaking in the bridge. There is no way that any beginner kid would be able to take this $100 guitar and start playing it right out of the box. That's going to be my guess. Because I'm even at the point of, with my Partscaster Tele solo build, they call that a beginner easy, the easiest level. They have a 1 to 5 scale, and it says 1 is anybody can put it together, and that's what that Tele build was. And already I've had to put a shim in the neck and adjust this and adjust that and fix that, and you know, I guarantee that, you know, a beginner would have had a lot of trouble with that. I do it all day long and every day, but well, let's just see. I went goony goo goo on that one. Come on, stay in tune for me. Well, they're going flat. That's a good sign. At least they're not going sharp after I tune it up. That means things are stretching. Well, of course, the G, the problem child in class, always throwing erasers when the teacher turns her back, went sharp. And if it goes sharp, that means it's catching on something, probably that cheap-ass spring tree. B, why did you go sharp? Maybe you didn't tune it right. Ooch. Okay, we're going to call that good. Let's see if it even makes a chord. Oop, sounds like it's out of tune already. I have my tuner right here on the bench, sorry. I'm not going to bore you with this exercise over and over and over again. What I'm going to do without tuning it again is get some of my tools out. I just want to check string height and neck relief and all that, just for giggles. We already know that that's so funny. One thing I can tell you I'm impressed with, you know, I'm kind of a screwball when it comes to where the strings go across the pole pieces on the pickups. And believe it or not, and that therefore by extension your string spacing on the fretboard. Am I going to tell you it's perfect? No, but it's really, really, really close. So for a cheapy $100 guitar, that's important. That's more important than anything else, because other stuff I can adjust no matter how cheap the wood is. I can make it play. So stand by. I'm going to get a few tools out and then we'll proceed. Okay, we're back. Interesting. You'll notice this is the one that they gave with the guitar. This is the one that I use, and I haven't run into one that needed to be longer, but you will notice the difference in the length because that truss rod adjustment is way up in there. So I'm going to keep this one. It's a 4mm, pretty standard with, you know, Asian build guitars. It's really loose on. I think the truss rod is just not doing anything right now. So let's get a measurement just for giggles. Ooh, it's got a really thick neck on it. Let's get a measurement really quickly. I'm still plugged in. I really don't need to be, not for this stuff. No, there you go. That's a really good output jack. 12 thousandths. Okay, standard stuff here. I'm in the movie. You capo at the 1st fret and you're checking on the 7th fret at 12 thousandths. Hold the body joint. This is standard with any guitar. It's way too straight. It's, well, wait a minute. That's actually not too bad. I'm going to roll with that for now. I'm going to roll with that. I don't know why. With string tension, it's got just the ever so slightest bow in it, which is what you want. It's called relief. But man, there are some goony goo goo frets going on here. Holy cow. My bare eye can catch them. I'm going to try to tighten this against my better judgment. I want to make sure that the truss rod works. And it's really loose, like it doesn't want to fit in there. Like it's almost a 5mm instead of a 4. It's just... I don't care if that string breaks. I'm just going to try to get a turn out of it because it's so loose. I'm going to back these off and see what in the wide world of sports is going on there. I want to get a turn on that. Oh God, these tuners are horrible. Yeah, there is no tension on that truss rod at all. And I was getting a decent measurement. Well, that, let's see what that did. At least it's got a little tension on it. It doesn't appear as though it changed it much. Now, here's the big question. So I put tension on it that way. Let's see if it's got a two-way in it. I used to think that expensive guitars had two-way truss rods in them, but really, it's the cheaper ones that they put the two-way truss rods, which they did because sometimes you have to put a back bow or relief. A really, you know, a well-built guitar, you're trying to get relief into it, and you usually don't need to go more than in one direction. But I've found that many of these cheaper guitars come with two-way truss rods, because they know the wood is not the best, and sooner or later it's going to bow on you. So you may have to force it either in a, you know, a straighter condition or a more relieved condition. I'm going to leave it like that for a second, put the strings back on it, and tune it, and then check that. I wasn't terribly disappointed in the neck relief to begin with, but the truss rod was completely loose, and you really don't want that. You want to have some tension on it one way or the other. Get your neck relief set, even if it's in the middle and it doesn't seem to want to have any tension on it. it's best to have a little tension. Just for exercise. I went too far. Either that or that fret is really high. Because at the 7th fret, at the 7th fret we're a little loose. I'm going to say there's probably, I'm going to leave it like that. It's a little loose. I can tighten it up later because we know that it's got a two-way truss rod and we know that it's working. So, well, that's a plus, being that it's only not even $100 guitar, because I got a guitar and an amplifier, a little 15-watt amplifier for $100. I know this one looks like it's almost touching the string, but I'm curious what the, oh my goodness, Goonie Goo Goo. 9/64. 9. Sorry, 8. 8's bad enough. Holy shnikes. Okay, well, let's find that. Let's use their tool, find their other little wrench that they gave me, and see if that actually fits in there properly. There it is, and all my free picks. Wow. Okay, here we already have a problem. Sorry about that. We already have a problem. The set screws are sticking up already, which is just a heartache waiting to happen. And we need to lower the action from where it is. So if I lower them down, the screws are going to be sticking all the way up. So you know where we're headed with this now, is we're going to have to put a shim in it. I'm going to have to unbolt the neck and put a shim. And I'm going to say probably a pretty big one, because you know, on our parts caster we needed to put a shim, but we only needed a very little bit, and I think I went too far with the one that I put in, but I was able to adjust that guitar. These set screws on each saddle are sticking up, and the saddles are almost at the bridge. So to make this a playable unit, we can fix it, and I have other shims, and we're going to make it work right, correct. I'm not afraid of that at all. The last thing I'm going to do is, just for shits and giggles, you can't even imagine how close the pickups are. It just tells you that the people that are throwing these guitars together, they're not like the people at Fender or Gibson or Ibanez, or insert name of, you know, favorite guitar that you play. They don't have a clue what these adjustments really mean. And again, string height won't matter, because we fret it at the last fret and then check, and that's 1/8 of an inch, and it's still a little tall, so we pull that down. And this is magnetic field, you know, so that you have that adjustment correct. So I know these are adjustable, and they seem to be reacting. That one I went a little too far. So you've seen this exercise before. Shim. Oh boy, we get to take apart my $100 guitar and put a shim in it. That's two cheap guitars that I've done in less than 2 weeks that needed to have the neck shimmed. Am I surprised? Not even a little bit. But not beginner. Whatever unfortunate young person you gave this to for Christmas and they started playing it, they would have thrown it in their closet after a couple of days and go, this thing's a piece of junk, it don't work right. Well, I'm going to make it work right, and I think I might just give it to my niece's daughter, so I guess she's my grandniece, and I love her to death, and I think I'm going to gift her this guitar. I'm going to make it play right. I'm going to gift it to her because, well, she's only 6 years old. She's coming up on 6 years old. Either 6 or 7. Now I forgot. Don't get old, kids. Whatever you do, don't get old. They can say all they want about hair and teeth, but the memory is the first thing to go. All right, so I adjusted those just because I can. So we know where we're going. We can adjust the truss rod. We know that our string action is way high and we're running out of adjustment just by looking at that bridge. I would never want these saddle screws sticking out because as you're strumming along, it's just a heartache waiting to happen. And unless you want that part of your rock and roll show, whether it be in your bedroom or playing in front of hundreds or thousands of people, you don't want to be bleeding on stage because blood will show up on that pickguard. And that's what's going to happen if we leave those up. So to fix that, we're actually going to shim up the neck slightly to change that neck angle, get our string action down to gain us the string action that we need in the saddle adjustments. So for today, our exercise was we got a neat little freebie. We got a $100 guitar and a freebie 15 amp guitar amp that I've been wanting for my bench for a long time. And that's where we're at. Thanks for playing along, guys. This is Blackjack with 396 Guitars. We're going to do another installment on this little guy because we can, and it's fun. We'll talk to you soon.